So here we go for day 20. Remember, day 19 ended with Jessica saying, I can run. So it's a whole new ball game, as they say. I have the running dream again. It's early morning. Sherlock's whole body is wagging as he dances in a circle by the front door. We ease out, turning right when we hit the street, and head toward the river. The world is quiet. No cars, no people, no hustle and bustle, just the rhythmic sound of our feet against the pavement. Sherlock is happy beside me. Oh, he says for no apparent reason. Oh. We reach the river and the air is heavenly, cool and moist. It sparkles my face, washes my lungs, cools the building heat of my body. I soar beneath the trees, transform into wind. We come upon Aggery Bridge and I begin the long sprint across it. My legs and lungs burn, but I welcome this pain. It forges me with strength, determination, triumph. I drop back the pace now and glide along the streets, back past familiar houses, back home. The sun is brighter now, the air warmer. Sweat pours from me, cool, salty, cleansing sweat. On the porch again, Sherlock kisses me and pants as I tousle his ears. Good boy, I tell him, you are such a good boy. Our sleepy neighborhood is stirring, waking up, and this time I stay on the porch with Sherlock and enjoy it. This time, there's no shock for me, no jolt awake, no tears. This time, the running dream is real. There's a lot of really great figurative language in that one. We'll talk about it later. Chapter 3. Now that mom's cut me loose and I'm in good enough shape, Sherlock and I run the whole 5 mile loop over Aggery Bridge every morning. When I wake up tired, I remind myself how long I've waited to be able to run again, and it gets me up, gets me moving into that plane between dreaming and reality where only running seems to take me. Some mornings I see Rosa on her porch, and when I do, I finish my run, then trot back to visit with her. It's a nice cool down for Sherlock and for me. We talk about her online friends and the summer courses she's been taking online and the places she's seen online that she dreams about going to someday. I start to see that the internet is the way she travels, the way she socializes, the way she feels like part of things. It's the place where people see her and not her condition. Often on my walk home, I try to think of ways to help her live some of the things she dreams about, but I have no idea what to do. I feel bad, too, that she wasn't at my surprise party and that she wasn't asked to sign my socket. If I had known about the party, I would have made sure she was there, but even Fiona, who is the kindest, most thoughtful person on earth, didn't think about inviting her. Rosa is invisible. She finds out about parties after they're over, this time from a TV newscast. She didn't pout or try to make me feel bad about the party. She was just congratulatory and happy for me. But I did feel bad. I still feel bad. She's the one who got me through Miss Rucker's class. She helped me feel hope. She cheered me on and made me see things in ways I hadn't before. She should have been there. And now I'm running again. I know I'll never be able to run a 55 flat in the 400 again. Cairo timed me at the track the other day and I ran a 71.5. But that's okay. I'm happy just to be running and I will work up to competing, maybe in a longer race like the 1600. Cairo says he'll help me find the race that's right for me, and I'm looking forward to that. Rosa, though, is still the same, and I can see the momentum pulling me out of her life. We have different interests. We're different years in school. It wouldn't be hard for her to fade into my past. But I don't want that to happen. I don't want Rosa to be left behind. I get the idea before I fall asleep, and then I can't sleep. I'm up half the night thinking about it, adding to it, visualizing it, wondering if it's even possible. In all the thinking I do, I never for a moment think it's crazy, but I'm afraid my parents will. So early the next morning, I put on my running legs, sneak downstairs, and find my wheelchair in the garage. Come on, boy, I whisper to Sherlock, and make a sly exit out the side door of the garage. The wheelchair is small, light, and easy to push. I make it to the end of the block and back no problem. So I put a big sack of potting soil in the seat and try again. It's already harder, much harder. Okay, I tell myself. See what you can do. Let's go, I tell Sherlock, and he falls into step beside me as I push the wheelchair along the streets of our usual route toward Aggery Bridge. It's late August, so although it's only 6 o'clock, the sun is already up and the air is warming. Even before the 1 mile mark, I'm sweating and panting hard. My arms are straining, my legs can feel the burn, and any uphill, no matter how slight, feels 10 times harder than it usually does. And it's becoming clear that I'm not going to be able to do this for the full 5 miles of my loop. A little farther, I tell myself, then you can turn around. I coax myself forward with milestones. Just to the end of the block, just to the stop sign, just to the next bend. My arms are tired of holding the handles. I want to let go. I want to stop. But I press on. Just to the next intersection. Just to the moving van. Just to the top of the rise. I feel a hot spot forming on my stump, a warning sign Hank has told me that I should pay close attention to. Blisters, it says, can set me back weeks. Jessica! I'm hearing my name, but I'm not. Jessica, hey! I slow, then stop and turn to face the sound. A man is waving from me across the street. He's tan, lean, handsome. He's wearing running shorts, a sweat-drenched t-shirt. And as he crosses over, I'm thinking, it can't be him. But then there it is, chin scruff. Gavin? I'm suddenly aware how odd it is to be running with a load of potting soil in a wheelchair. He laughs. What are you doing? I follow his gaze to the wheelchair. Hard to explain. He doesn't press. Okay, well, you want some company? I could run with you. Actually, I was getting ready to turn around. I usually do a loop, but I'm not going to make 5 miles pushing this thing, so I'm already wiped out. So I'll run back with you. I turn the wheelchair around. Don't feel like you have to watch over the crazy girl pushing a load of potting soil. I'll be fine. And then, out of the blue, he asks, do I bug you or what? My head snaps to face him. What are you talking about? You always seem like you're trying to get away from me. I do? Yeah, I'll think that we're having a good time and then you'll practically ditch me. Wow, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that. Then what? I start jogging and he stays right beside me, a heavy silence between us. Finally, I say, look, you've been really nice and really helpful, but I don't want you to do things for me or pay attention to me because you feel sorry for me. He's quiet a minute. Is that what you think? Kinda, yeah. And I want to add, I also think you've got a secret crush on Fiona, but I'm already feeling bad for what I did say. Look, I finally say, I'm sorry. I made that mistake once, okay? I sure wouldn't do it again. You made, I glance at him. What are you talking about? Does the name Merrill ring a bell? We run along in silence for a bit. Are you saying? We broke up. He shakes his head. It was just a mistake. She was a mess at Lucy's funeral, and I got caught up in feeling sorry for her. But it was a terrible reason to go out with her. Sorry to hear that, I say softly, because really, I don't know what else to say. And of course, I felt sorry for you, but he stops running. Didn't you read what I wrote on your running leg? Does it say, I feel sorry for you? No, it says, you inspire me. I want to be around you because you inspire me. You're amazing. I think you're the most. I stop running and I look at him. His hair is pressed off his forehead and sticking out at the sides. His t shirt is still soaked. He's covered in sweat. He's gorgeous. Incredible person, and I did read what he wrote on my running leg. I read it over and over and over. I have ever known. He's looking at me too, but he doesn't seem to be looking at my hair, which is surely a mess, or thinking about the sweat I'm covered in. He's just looking into my eyes. So, what are you saying? I ask meekly. He looks at me a few moments longer, then answers with a long, salty kiss. Sherlock barks, howls, and spins in a circle. I pull away and laugh, and then tell Gavin, he's saying, You kissed a one-legged girl who's pushing around a wheelchair with potting soil in it. He looks at Sherlock. And she kissed me back. He does turn to me and he's smiling. He's really smiling. So, does this mean you don't think I'm annoying? I shake my head, and as we start walking toward my house, I let him push the wheelchair and tell him, I've actually been trying hard not to like you. Besides, I was sure you had a thing for Fiona. For Fiona? He lets that sink in. No wonder you were always ditching me. So we talk and catch up and confess all sorts of silly things. And when we're on my street, he says, So is this wheelchair thing to build up your strength? Running with this would not be easy. No, well, yeah, I guess so. I shake my head a little. I just had this idea, but now I don't think it'll work. So what's the idea? And in that moment, I decide to tell him. You know Rosa, right? Of course. Well, she lives around the corner from me on Marigold. Okay. It's a long story, but she sits out on her porch in the mornings and sees me run by. I go back and talk to her, and, well, she asks me about running a lot, why I do it, what it feels like, and she has this thing about the finish line. About the finish line? What do you mean? I don't know exactly, but she's very philosophical about it. I think she sees it as this amazing moment, one she'll never experience. He raises an eyebrow at the wheelchair. So you want to get her over a finish line? I don't know. First, I thought about just taking her on my loop, but then the idea grew into maybe I could do the river run with her in November. Cairo had the team volunteer last year during cross country. We handed out cups of Gatorade and water at the mile stations, and there were wheelchair racers and lots of people running for causes. I shrug. I thought it would be the perfect run for Rosa. That's a 10-mile run, he says quietly. I know, but it's the only one around here. I frown. But after today, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. I eye the wheelchair. That's maybe 25 pounds. Rosa's small, but she's got to weigh close to 100. I shake my head. I didn't even make it 2 miles. But this was your first try? When I nod, he adds, And look at this wheelchair. It's a toy compared to some of the ones I've seen. Maybe if you had a chair with bigger wheels, one that was designed for racing. We're standing at my walkway now. I love the serious look on his face, how he's trying to find ways to make this work. And how long have you been running again? A month? Not quite. See, like you've even had a chance to build up your own strength. I think about this a moment. So don't throw in the towel? Give it a chance. He thinks too, then asks, Does she know about this? Rosa? No, I haven't told anyone. I wanted to see if it was even possible. He smiles and reaches out for my hand. So you want to try again tomorrow? I'll meet you here at what, 6? Are you serious? He pulls me closer. Sure. I laugh and I smile and I look into his eyes and I see my little idea blooming inside of him. Suddenly I feel stronger, like maybe this isn't so crazy. In this moment, anything seems possible. After Gavin leaves, I run inside to call Fiona, but there's a slight problem. My dad has seen everything. He doesn't say this exactly, but from the arch of his eyebrow and his position in the family room, I know he has. I face him, wondering how to explain. The boy, the wheelchair, the potting soil. There's a lot to explain. But I'm feeling really happy, and what's to hide? So I sit down and start, first with the boy. His name is Gavin Vance. He's the one who wrote that newspaper article about me. I've had a crush on him for ages. This is received with a single nod and one of cautionary approval. And then, being in a heady, sharing sort of mood, I explain the wheelchair, the potting soil, and Rosa like it's all perfectly normal. There's no nod for this part, just a knit brow and a dubious frown. Mom enters the room and asks what's going on, and after Dad and I exchange looks, I explain everything all over again. The part about Rosa and the river run doesn't actually sink in because she's completely fixated on Gavin. So is he your boyfriend? I don't know. I give a little laugh and a shrug. But we have a date to go running with a wheelchair and potting soil tomorrow at 6 a.m., she asks. I grin. Yep. Does that count as a date? I shrug. Does to me. She looks to Dad for his opinion, but Dad's been thinking about something else. The wheelchair. I don't want to say you'll never make it 10 miles with your friend in that wheelchair, but it'll be slightly less impossible if you let me put some better wheels on it. And I'm sure she'd appreciate a more comfortable seat. Huh? My brain shifts from Gavin to the river run. Really? That would be great. He nods. Let me talk to Ed at the bike barn, get his advice. I'll be out that way on a job this morning. I go over and hug him. You are the best. I pull back and look at him. I don't tell you that enough, do I? I hug him again, tight. You are the best. Well, he says, and he's smiling. I like the mood this Gavin fella has put you in, that's for sure. He kisses me on the temple and says, Now I'd better get to work. Mom walks him out, and before she can return to cross-examine me, I've escaped to my room with my cell phone. News like this can't wait for a reasonable hour. I've got to talk to Fiona.